just working on my temperature blanket for today. I'm going to do, today was going to get up to 16 today, so that colour on my list is green. I'm doing single crochets for every row, so each row is a single crochet and is the temperature for that day. So we've got purple for 0 to 5, blue for 6 to 10, white for 11 to 15, and then green for 16 to 20, and yellow for 21 to 25. Goes up from there, obviously, and we haven't gotten there yet. So let's do one entire row. So this is actually 200 stitches across, and I do a row per day, so that'll be 365 days in the year, maybe 364. It's not leap year. So yeah, just kind of doing a crochet stitch, single stitch all the way across. It does take a little while, but it's nice to have something to do every day. And if I don't do it one day, I just note down what the weather was that day and then crochet 2 rows the next day. You can see how it's coming along there. It's a bit backwards for you guys because it's obviously pointing at me. There we go. Had one little row of yellow in there. Hopefully we'll have some more soon. It is very sunny today. It's just got a bit of a cold breeze, which is nice. So this temperature blanket is being done for Cheltenham, England, and it's being done in Celsius degrees. But I could do one for back home or whatever place I want to do. I just take the weather from Google or AccuWeather. Typically the same, but I always do for Cheltenham. Now this one is for this year, but you can always look back on previous years and do them if it was a special year for you. A lot of people do them for year of their wedding or year of their anniversary or the birth year of their child. You could do any year you like. I'm doing 2025. I should have done a 2020, that would have been cool. It was really warm that year, from what I remember. Well, we're getting there. It's about a quarter of the way through this row. I do go a bit fast, but you can go as slow as you want. Make it last the whole day. This is into April now, so it's but it's coming along. I think it's going to be quite big, maybe a full-size bed, a double. It would fit a single, a twin-size single, a really, really well, but it could fit a double. A lot of people do temperature blankets in different ways. So you can do sort of a granny square per day, like a small one, and then they put it in the sort of shape or design of an actual calendar, and then just put, you know, January, February at the top of it, and then you can see little squares of the colours. I'm doing the daily high temperature, but you could do the high and the low. Obviously it would be a little bit longer, but you could maybe do half of the blanket in low temperature, half of it in high temperature for the day. Trying to think of other ways people do it. You could do it any way you want to, I suppose. I thought this was a good way of doing it. Just do a single crochet row. I did do a gauge swatch. I don't always do gauge swatches before I started. So I did a square that was 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters, 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, which is 4 inches by 4 inches. And you see how many stitches you get in a row and how many rows you get in that 4 inches or 10 centimeters. And then you can gauge how many stitches you need across and how many, obviously I already knew how many rows I needed, one for every day. So I needed to make sure it was going to be wide enough that it was in proportion with how long it was going to be. It gives you an idea to do a gauge swatch, so you know that you're going to get the approximate right size for what you're expecting. I see a lot of people start a temperature blanket and don't do a gauge swatch, and then they make it too skinny, too narrow, so it's a skinny long thing. But I suppose you could make a rug out of it, or a runner down your hallway, or even a tablecloth type thing, depending on what material you're using. We're almost there. Look, we've got that much left. A little over halfway. But yeah, so some people will get a very, very long, skinny blanket, and I'm hoping that I've made mine wide enough. I think I did 200 stitches, might have been 250 actually, but go to a gauge swatch to see. This is DK yarn, double knit, by Women's Institute, which is sold at Hobbycraft in the UK. And I love the Women's Institute yarn. This is just the premium acrylic yarn, selling in 100-gram packs. They're usually about £3.60, I want to say. But I'm starting off. In the beginning, I used a lot of blue and purple, as you can see. I had to buy more, so I'm starting off with 3 balls of 100 grams in each colour, and hoping that I don't run out. But if I do, that Hobbycraft should have these colours by the end of the year. But I probably won't be having a lot of the warmer weather at the end of the year, so I just need to stock up on blue and purple and white. These will probably be the colours most used in those times. I'm hoping I get to use my pink, my magenta, and my red. Red is from 36 to 40 some degrees. I'm not sure if we're going to get that high, but who knows, we might do. It is already getting warm, and it's 6th of April. 6th of April. It's not been rainy, which it usually is around this time. But yeah, it should be a nice summer, hopefully. And I can finally get a little bit of a tan. I would go out and sit. I might sit out in a little while. There's a little bit of a chilly air, but it's 16 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, probably 60s, maybe 70s. You have to tell me. I always have to look it up, I never know. Just go with one or the other. Almost there towards the end. Hopefully get a bit more yellow. I think we're going to be having a lot of green days coming up. Green day. This is kind of like almost like a sage green. I think it is actually sage green. I think the colours go well together. I don't know if I'm going to do a border yet, because I've already used white in the pattern. Now I probably would have done a white border, but I also haven't tied in any of my edges here. I should have been crocheting them in or sewing them in as I went along, but I thought if I didn't tie off at every, or if I did tie off at every edge, I could have just left a fringe, then it might not have washed well. So I'll have to go in and use a darning needle and sew this into the work so it's hidden, and then maybe put a nice border. I don't know what border I'll do yet, but I've got all year to think about it. Yeah, just a little bit more here. And the last stitch. Oh, there we go. So I've got to the last stitch. I'm going to leave my yarn here. So I've got this little cute little stitch markers here. They're cute. Got them in a magazine actually. And I just open up the little clasp and clasp it on there, so when my yarn gets pulled, it won't come through and unravel. But I'm going to leave the green attached because I think I'm going to use it tomorrow. And then I'm using, oh, I forgot to say, I'm using a 4.5 millimeter hook on this with my DK yarn. But yeah, it's coming out nicely. What do you think? That's April 6th. And I just try to fold it up so it stays nice and tidy. Oh, it's going to look so good, isn't it? Oh, so exciting. Oh. Right, fold it up to where I get my, just stick my hook. Let's fold this up a bit. There we go. I just stick the hook in my yarn. People say you shouldn't do that because it might mess up the yarn, but I don't think it does. Stick my needle in, or my hook in my yarn. That's why it's ready to go. And I remember what size hook I was using. I have written it down just in case I forget, and I just fold it up and I put it away. Thanks for crocheting with me.